Good evening everyone and welcome along to the Esports Challenge Cup event. We are here tonight for, of course, raising money for charity, and we are here for 3 races with 25% race distances. We have got one-shot qualifying as well for each of the 3 from Jeddah, from Abu Dhabi, and then, of course, the home of British motorsport at Silverstone. My name is James Head, delighted to be taking to the stream for tonight, and I cannot wait to bring you the action, of course, out on track. I'm really hoping that you are looking forward to the action as well, of course, all in the name of the UNHCR for the UN Refugee Agency, I should say, the appeal for Ukraine, of course. And we are going to be raising money for that cause in terms of that. Apologies for like it's a little bit quieter than normal. I might have turned myself up. I was doing Legacy Division last night. Hopefully that is a little bit better. If not, I will just do a re-plug in. And that is the absolute joys, I think, of technology right there. But we are, of course, raising money, as I say, for the UN Refugee Agency for Ukraine. We have got 3 races, of course, tonight as well. I will, if anything lags, by the way, in terms of the track maps, I do apologise. But we should be getting going very soon indeed. I believe we're waiting on one more driver, if I'm not mistaken. Looking through the chat, good evening to everyone that is tuning in. Good evening to Charlie, good evening to Maze, who's there in the chat, and good evening to all 4 of the teams as well. That is probably going to be in this as well. And we do have 3 lobbies, so there is going to be a bit of a change-up. We are going to put some music on in the background as well, some various different parts of music, which is why you're listening as well to the background, the music in the background. That music in the background is a very good piece that I've seen from Dan Phillipson on Upbeat. So if you do want to check that out, you can. License code is there, which we are using, of course, here tonight. And as well, there is going to be some really, really good sentiments to be said, I'm sure, for tonight here as we go for the UNHCR for Ukraine. It looks like the drivers are just beginning to ready up within the lobby. As soon as I said that, it's just been restarted, so I do apologise. But what we can do, I think the drivers are really wanting to get on with things. I don't know who we are waiting on. Give me a second, I will get up at Discord on my end and have a look in terms of who we might be waiting for to wait for, of course, out on track tonight. We, I believe, are waiting on Atesh. Oh, Atesh is actually in the lobby, so Atesh is actually in. So I believe we're waiting on one more driver. Might be the case for RCR. I think they mentioned that we're only going to have 3 drivers. I can see 4 drivers there in for RCR. Loke included in that as well. Tipple, who have been doing a very good job, I've got to say, in EML Premier 2. They are going to be competing, of course, here tonight. RCR going to be taking on VIR, of course, from EML Premier 1. We've got Marlon in with Stroudsy and Atesh. So I believe we're waiting on one more driver there for VIR. BRT represented by Ickle, Mike, looking through Max van der Geist and Max Power, the 2 Maxes. Beautifully done, I've got to say, the 2 Maxes once again for BRT. And then the 4th team that we've got, of course, is IRT, and that is Bumye, Antonio, Nathan, and the final man, who I am trying to just pick up on, is Demangel, who I've missed. That is IRTC to you and me. If you have been watching the NLR team event, you will have seen them in action on a Saturday. You will have seen me in action as well on a Saturday for that. But we are going to be getting underway very soon indeed. As soon as that go ahead is given, we will get back. We will get underway for the live action out on track. I will, of course, go to the track map when I begin to see everybody readying up on the left hand side. As I say, hopefully you're doing well. This donation link, by the way, is in the description of this very video. Believe it is a hyperlink as well, so you can just click on it and you might get asked for a browser option. Just click on whatever you're using your page on. I will be on track as well in terms of the donations. I think before we came live, I'm just going to confirm this now, as Ollie Olaf is the man we were waiting on for VIR. He is now in the lobby, which means I think we are pretty much good to go. We've got a target at the minute of £150 for the target that has been set. Chloe Glennon, of course, the Miss absolutely fantastic commentator from EML Premier 2 this season. She has done the donation link there, so if you do want to use the donation link, you can just go in the description, click on the link, and it should take you straight to the Just Giving page. That is going to be there. We've currently got donations, I can say, from Colin Mason from RDR, a £10 and £2.50 gift aid. This was prior to the event actually happening. VIR, €50 there, the German team, fantastic. Mitri there with an anonymous donation as well. Thank you so much, Mitri. Team IoT with €10, as well as Race Concept Racing RCR with €5 donation as well. And that is currently the lay of the land. £72 we've got, including that gift aid, of course, from Colin. Any amount will be given, of course, to the UNHCR, and it will go directly, of course, to the appeal and to the people of Ukraine who are going to be fighting very hard for their freedom in the next couple of weeks, and certainly in the next couple of months as well, from that Russian aggression. And we've left, Boumier's just left the session, but we can now go to the track map very quickly. 6.1 kilometres and then 3.8 miles of the Jeddah Corniche circuit. 27 turns to wait now, drivers as well. And it could be a very interesting night. We have got the 4 teams, of course, competing with each other. We have also got, I believe, everyone competing for themselves, which is going to be fantastic as well. And of course, we are going to be getting going, as I say, very soon indeed. We are just having a slight glitch, I think, on my end with the timing. But I will bring you into the lobby. Of course, 3D restaurants around this track as well, this fish-shaped track, as I like to call it. One down in towards turn number 1, one on down in towards turn 19, and then down through that part of the section down towards 22 and 23. And then one up towards turn 27 at the final corner as well, with the 3D rest detection points. Now, there was rumours, actually, that there could be a 4th coming in real-life Formula 1 this year. That wasn't the case. Australia, fortunately, got that privilege. So, Saudi Arabia will be on board, and I'm absolutely sure. We are going to ride on board right now with RCR Redder, and he is now on the run down in towards the left-hander of turn number 1. We'll see what he can do from the RCR perspective. We expect the lap times around here to be in around the 127s, and Redder already has gone for a huge moment, clipping the right-hand side wall. Never really seen that, actually, from the perspective of the drivers. We'll look at the best times that everyone is on, but Redder had a huge moment there coming through turn number 1, or even before turn number 1. He got Demondula's retired, Mike there is retired as well. Antonio, has retired. We're going board with Max van der Geist, though. He is the man currently out on top at this stage. Strowsy there in second, Ickel there currently in third. Looking quite good, I'm going to say, at this perspective as well. I will be kept up to date as well by Mr. Mays, who's doing the fantastic job, of course, of the standings. He will try and keep you updated with the points after each round. It is the traditional EML point system. With only 16 drivers here, that means it's going to be a minimum, I think, 4 points available to everyone out on track tonight. As Max van der Geist is coming through this middle sector split, or on the approach towards the middle sector split, opens up the second DRS zone. And now the VRT man with Stroudsy just ahead of him, looking to try and put VRT, of course, out on top. 1 minute 0.5 in the middle sector, not looking too bad at all from the Ferrari man. He's now comes through the right-hander of turn 24, then towards 25, 26 and 27. Stroudsy though out on top, Max van der Geist in second, Ickel there in third, but Max van der Geist, however, on the run towards the final couple of corners. Loka Marlon also at the session as well. Marlon, probably the star name, I think, in amongst this lineup, and Atesh as well from EML Premier 1. But Max van der Geist now on the run to line for VRT, and he actually goes quickest. Bit of a glitch there on the timing. Stroudsy said it was quickest, but in the end, Max van der Geist is quickest by nearly a tenth of a second. The Ferrari man is out on top. I have got a bit of a rusty voice, by the way, tonight from Legacy Division last night, so apologies if my voice does go within this live stream. I will try my absolute utmost. But Max van der Geist is out on top, from Stroudsy there in second, Ickel there in third, with Atesh there in fourth, Ollie Olaf there in 5th, Max Power in 6th, Tipple there in 7th, Nathan GB there in 8th, Aladini there in 9th for RCR, and Boumier there in 10th. He did rejoin the session, I'm glad to report he's there in 10th, the RT man, with RCR Redder after that mistake in towards turn 1, completely obliterated the track limits. He's down there in 11th, Mike there in 12th, Demonchel there in 13th, IRTC. Got Bulldog disqualified because they picked up in track invalidations. Loke, Marlon and Antonio are the 16 drivers that are going to be competing, of course, tonight. And if you have not already figured out which team is in which car, let me tell you which team is in which car. It will give me a couple of seconds on this, just while I find the correct chats and everything to confirm. But in the Red Bull, we do have VIR, and also in the AlphaTauri, so the two sister cars, Red Bull and AlphaTauri, represented by VIR. Ferrari have got VRT and VRT have got Ferrari and Alfa Romeo. RCR have got Alpine and Haas. and then Aston Martin, or IRT I should say, have got Mercedes and Aston Martin. So if you do want to keep up with everyone there, you can do indeed. Look into the comment section as well. If you are able to donate, you can find the link in the description or in the Discord server as well. If you are in the Discord server, you can find it there. I think it is on the team's donation channel, or charity donation channel actually, out on track. But out in the Discord I should say. But out on track, we better get going for the first 25% race of the night. It is one-shot qualifying, as I've already said. You've already seen that. Now we're going to go for the 5 red lights here in Jeddah. It's round 1 of the charity event for EML Esports Challenge Cup, and it is lights out and away we go, and Strides gets a very good start compared to Max van der Geist. Max will be under pressure down and towards turn number 1, and it's going to be actually side by side in towards turn number 1. Max van der Geist that put out towards the outside curb slightly. Strides there on the outside line trying to hang on, but Max van der Geist holds the lead. From Strides there in second, Atesh there in third. Apologies about the timing glitches and that and everything in terms of the graphics, but Max Powers on the back of Ickle coming through the first sector as well. Two Alfa Romeos, I should say, a 4th and 5th position. I think everyone got off to a clean start in the foreground. I've shot Logue has had a huge moment further down the field. He's dropped a couple of positions off this race start. But Max van der Geist lead from Strategy there in second. Atesh there in third. Mike going side by side as well. With Bumier now coming through the right-hander of turn 13, or through the left-hander of turn 13 on the right-hand side of the track. And Mike should get the car ahead here for VRT, and he does indeed. Beautiful move by Mike. And he's through and he's into 8th position. Bumier there in 9th. Aladini there in 10th. Tipple there in 11th early on. Fantastic to see the racing, of course, here in Jeddah. Should be very close-knit. And speaking of close-knit, Strategy right on the back of Max van der Geist for this race lead. We have to have a look and see what drivers are doing in terms of their strategies. Max Power and Mike, interestingly, on a set of softs, everyone else on a set of mediums, as Redder is the one struggling at the back of the field. He's just had a mistake, I think, catching 22 and 23, and here comes Stroudy now to the outside line of Max van der Geist. The VAR man trying to go all the way around the outside, but Max van der Geist has gone way too deep into the final corner. There should be Stroudy getting the up and under, now going side by side with them down the straight, and the Red Bull now going side by side with the Ferrari as he comes now through on to start lap 2. It is Strategy there in second, but Max van der Geist there currently, and Atesh from absolutely nowhere is coming down the inside line of turn 1 to try and get the job done. Camera angle's absolutely poor from my end there, but Atesh is trying to fight the car with Strategy. They're side by side the two VAR guys, and in the end, Team Orders wins out. Atesh there in second, Strategy there in third. Max Powers made up ground as well into 5th position early on. He's made a position. Mike, though, is a big gainer. He's also on that set of soft compound tyres. He's gained 5 positions and is looking for 6th as well. Zoli Olaf just ran wide there slightly. Tipples picked up the first 3-second penalty of the night. Max van der Geist leads, Atesh in second, Strategy in third, and I'm going to take a break before I have a heart attack, as Marlon is on the back of Tipple for 10th and 11th, trying to go all the way around the outside as the VAR man, the PSGL F1 man, of course, in Marlon. To the outside line, should get the job done. He's made 5 positions made, and that is a 5th made there for Marlon. Fantastic job, and he's doing it into 10th. As I have just spilled water all over myself, I do not mind. Max van der Geist leads the way. Atesh there in second, Strategy there in third. They're side by side though between Marlon and, oh my word, I think there was Aladini knee on the back of Tipple there. All of a sudden though, Marlon has made a 6th position gain. Beautiful move to the inside line of 22 and 23. And he nearly had a cold round. There's a ride on board with him there. Now gives Bumier the chance to go all the way around the outside. Now we'll leave the timing tower off just to catch this battle. But Bumier now is going around the outside for the IRT team. Marlon's still there on the inside line. Goes a little bit deeper into the corner, does Bumier. He leads Marlon through, but the traction is there on the outside of the curb. And Bumier, I think, is just going to get away with this one. Marlon is still there, though, side by side. On the run down in towards turn 1. There's 4 abreast almost in towards turn 1 and behind as well. Mike goes through an Ollie Olaf in the foreground of shot. But Marlon through and he's into 9th. Bumier there, Nathan Ollie Olaf has just lost the position to Nathan GB. So Nathan back through and he's into 7th. Brilliant stuff out on track. Tipple there going side by side with the Logue. Logue was a little bit deep in towards turn 4. But in the end, Max van der Geist leads. Atesh in second, Strategy in third. And now I can breathe. Oh, Strategy on the back of Atesh, trying to look to the inside line in towards turn number 13. Of course, 27 corners around this track here in Jeddah. Of course, once the first lobby is over and done with, we are going to get a new lobby for every single race that we've got. So just to counteract any measures that we do have in place in terms of the servers going down, in terms of potentially a bit of lag or a bit of desync between the drivers. That just eliminates that perspective. So we will get a lobby started and will put us on our heading screen that we saw at the start of the live stream, and we'll probably take a break when that happens as well, as Max Power takes too much power there, coming through the right-hander of turn 23, and now gives VRT Mike a chance to go all the way around the outside. So Mike there through, surely into 5th position with this move. There is Max Power going backwards into 6th after that mistake. It's so easy to actually make mistakes around this track as well. The Mike there down into 5th, and Ickle there in 4th as well, doing a good job. Max Power on the back of him. Fumier as well with Aladini side by side, and actually, as I flick the other way, there is a change for the lead, as Atesh is now through Max van der Geist. So Max van der Geist now down in 2nd. Atesh leading the way, but Atesh used 30% more ERS at this stage of the race compared to Max van der Geist. That basically means Max van der Geist is on 92%, Atesh is on 65%. 27% difference between 1st and 2nd, as we have a yellow flag out on track. And there's Antonio with no front wing, crashing out of turn number 1. Oh, and he managed to just pick up rear wing damage there as well. But the IRT man not having a great start within this race, not having a great start at all. Now with front wing damage on the car, and that is him now down in 16th position. As Atesh there leads, Max van der Geist there in 2nd, Strouty there in 3rd. And Strouty now looking to try and go around the outside potentially in towards turn 16 and 17. Famously, Tom Roberts had a beautiful move, a beautiful crash, I should say, in the EML race, I think, around here a couple of weeks back. But Strouty doing a good job there in 3rd, Max van der Geist there in 2nd. Of course, my closest battle around this track as well. Only 100th of a second separating Tom and Jensen. That was in TML, I think, season 7, if I'm not mistaken. But Atesh there leading the way, Max van der Geist in 2nd, Strouty there in 3rd. We're seeing moves up and down the field. Marlon makes the move up into 8th, passing his VAR teammate in Ollie Olaf. Beautiful helicopter cameras run aboard now with Lope trying to get the move done around the outside on Bumye, trying to go around the outside now for the move as Mike is into quick. Then that'd be for a medium compound size, one would expect. Lope though is going to get this job done on Bumye, and he might actually get 2 for 1 as Max van der Geist and Atesh. The side by side, Atesh picks up a 3-second penalty for corner cutting, completely side by side in towards turn number 1, and Lope down side by side in towards turn number 1 as well. I think with Aladini in the end of the day, and yeah, Lope goes down the inside line, should get the job done. Aladini's still there though, the Frenchman trying to come back at him, and Lope is still there. Still behind the timing screens, but they have to try and avoid. But now they're nearly going 3 wide in the background. Mercedes there trying to counteract on that as well. That is Bumye in behind. Plenty of 3-second penalties being picked up though. Ollie Olaf now with a latest 3-second penalty, as well as Tipple, who's picked up a 3 seconds. And Demangel and Atesh are the other 3-second penalties out on track, as they're still side by side. Redder on the back of Tipple, but in the end not getting the job done. There is a yellow flag, and that is for Ollie Olaf, the VAR man who was spun, or VIR man I should say, who was spun. He's got no front wing, he's recovered the car, and I think Atesh has just gone perhaps for a moment as well, with Strouty now overtaking him. Strouty now in 2nd, Atesh there in 3rd. Of course, VAR all working together. They're allowed to do this, they're in separate teams, might be in separate teams, but they are working together. It is a team event and a charity event at the end of the day as well. Ickle on the back of Atesh, looking to try and get the move done in towards 27. He's got way too deep on the brakes, surely, to try and commit this move to the inside line. And in the end, Atesh comes out on top and gets away from him off the corner. Max Power there, and that set of sauces into the quick lane. So VRT with both Mike and Max Power into the pits. There is another yellow flag out on track. That's Antonio at the back of the field, and Strouty now goes around the outside. Max van der Geist for the race lead. So the VAR man trying to get the job done for turn number 1. Out of turn number 2, though, Max van der Geist is still there, the Dutchman. On the German hero Strouty, looks toward the inside line now at turn number 4. Nearly forced out wide there. Not often you see side by side through this part of the track. But in the end, Max van der Geist, slight mistake there from Strouty, slight overcorrection as Atesh is in the wall, I think. Further down the field, yep, Atesh is in the wall. Marlon's picking a 3-second penalty as well. Strouty now side by side with Max van der Geist once again. There is no break for me in these 25% races, trust me. Strouty leads the way for Max van der Geist now in 2nd. Ickle there in 3rd, and they're chopping and changing like a choppy and changey thing. As Tipple has gone for the spin as well. He's had a mistake as well further down the field as Bumye has been overtaken by Redder, so he is through and he's in 10th. Oh, my word. Strouty leads the way. We are halfway through, nearly here in Jeddah. Of course, we have got racing to come in Abu Dhabi and indeed at Silverstone to come. But Abu Dhabi will be the next track up, which will remind me, because I need to get the Abu Dhabi track map into OBS so you can see everything going on. That is it in there, ready to go. Max van der Geist on the back of Strouty once again. Towards the outside line, of course, they do have to make the mandatory pit stop in this race, with there being a 25% race. We should see the medium runners come in now, probably around 6 onwards. And we're not out of the leaders at least, but Max van der Geist is on the back of Strategy once again, in towards turn number 1. He backs up the troll, not going to go for the move there. Aladini and Loke are side by side as well. The RCR team as Atesh is into the pit lane. After that slight mistake, I'm not sure if he's got front wing damage. We'll check up on that in just a second, as Loke is still trying to go side by side with Aladini. And in the end, Aladini forced towards the defensive line on the outside. Bit of a wheel-to-wheel contact from the RCR boys. Oh, and a mistake in the wall from Loke. Big snap of oversteer. I think he overcorrected him. I'm not sure if Radha had anything to do with that. It didn't look like it. But Loke is in the wall, and he has got, I think, left side unplay damage on the car, and that is him now going to be trooping back into the pit lane. Zatesh is out of the pits on that side of the softs, and is ahead of Ollie Olaf, is ahead of Tipple. Ollie Olaf, by the way, has also picked up front wing damage as well, and that's why Tipple is coming out of the pit lane just ahead of him. Further down the field, Max Power side by side with Loke, Mike side by side as well with Mike as well, with Loke I should say. But in the end, Strategy leads the way. Max van der Geist in second. That's 7 out of 13. These races do go quick here at Jeddah. Should go quick in Abu Dhabi. Should go quick as well at Silverstone. And yeah, you never know. The drivers are on par, and they don't want to force me into a break. We can get through this probably ahead of time, I think. In terms of what we're going to have. 7:45, by the way, is the scheduled start time for Abu Dhabi. 8:30 is the scheduled start time for Silverstone. However, if drivers do want to go a little bit earlier, then they can, as Strategy's into the pit lane. And there's Ickle into the pit lane there as well. So Strategy in pits. Red Bull man is coming on into his pit box now in the Red Bull. Set us off compound tyres on. They only last around 3-4 laps around here. Strategy into the pits, and he is there on that sort of soft compound tyre. And where is he going to come out in this full with Max Power and the lights? I think he could be just ahead. There's a whole gaggle of cars coming through turn 1, including Stroudy. He's on the exit of the pit lane. And him on a set of softs is going to be out-muscled neatly by Bumye. He's right out of the middle of a pack. Ahead of Bumye, which I think is crucial. Behind Max Power and Mike, that is not good news for the VAR man out on track. Or VAR man, I should say, out on track. Very difficult to try and pronounce the right team name and then try and talk quickly at the same time. The VAR are there in length with Stroudy, doing a good job. Runs wide there slightly. 3-second penalties, by the way, so far. There is a yellow flag, and then there's Tipple having a spin coming through turn number 5, I think that is. Penalty situation, though. Marlon on 3, Demongel on 3. As Locus retired out of the race, I think he's actually crashed in a slow-speed corner. And Loke is out of the race, unfortunately. Had that moment further down the field. I don't think there'll be any safety cars. I don't think safety cars are actually on. If they are, they're on reduced. That's why we're not seeing a safety car, I think, at this stage. That yellow flag, though, is for Loke. His car is still strewn across the circuit, not moving anywhere as he has had a crash, unfortunately. Max van der Geist, though, should be responding to come in the pit lane. And he is indeed. So Max van der Geist into the pit lane. Aston Martin and Antonio just gone round there as well, further down the field. Marlon continuing on, though, leading the way. Max van der Geist, though, is in. So he's into the pit lane. Set us off compound and size now on the car. Nathan right beside him, along with Demongel there. 3rd and 4th position. Doing a good job at this stage. With Max van der Geist. There's Aladini actually going side by side with Max Power. This is now for the battle for the lead, really. Aladini yet to come out on the pit, yet to come in the pitch. Red are the same as well. So the Haas might have to do a double stack here. But Max Power through, and he's into 2nd position. Nice job there. And look at where Stroudy's came out in. Look where Max van der Geist came out in as well. Ickle and the set of soft runners are not really liking this at all. Stroudy has not got past on Redder just yet. He has got 2 cars ahead of him. One of them being RCR, the other being RCR as well. And that is 1 out of the way because that is Stroudy through. And he's into 4th. Redder there down into 5th position. Max Powell leads, theoretically out on track. Marlon, however, going for that overcut strategy. Set us off compound tyres, of course, will go on the car towards the end of the race. Marlon, though, leading the way from Max Power there in 2nd. Aladini there currently in 3rd position. Strategy there on the back now, running side by side on the run towards the left-hander of 21 and then into the left-hander again of turns 22. Strategy, though, is through on Aladini as Antonio retired in the pit lane. That is unfortunate, so he is down out of the race. Marlon, though, leading the way. Max Power in 2nd. Strategy there in 3rd. Aladini there in 4th. Max van der Geist and Nickel there side by side as well, just in the foreground of shot towards the inside line. Actually goes Max van der Geist to the inside line, and Redder gets the job done. Ickel through there, he's into 6th position. Thank you, by the way, for getting rid of that comment, mate. Much appreciated. Ickel there on the back of Max van der Geist, and Stroudy back through on Aladini. Of course, the full focus of our attention currently is on the race. Of course, it is for a good cause in terms of the Ukraine. However, though, I am personally still with Russia. I know they are, of course, causing this absolute carnage. Oh my word! There's Max van der Geist who's going to interrupt that point to the outside line in towards turn number 5. Beautiful move by Max van der Geist. That is how you pull off a move here. Max van der Geist doing his into third. Beautiful move from Aladini. Yes, Aladini yet to come in the pit lane, but that was absolutely remarkable. And now Ickel's joining on the Ickel train as well, and he goes towards Aladini into the left-hander of turn number 13. Gets the job done. What I was about to say there as well, we respect every single person here on League Racing TV, no matter what country you might be from, as Aladini is spun coming through turn number 13. No matter what country you're from, no matter where you are, what your background is, we welcome all people here on League Racing TV, regardless of what is going on in the political world and what is going on, of course, in Ukraine. But Max Power leads the way, Strouty there in second, Max van der Geist there in third, with the racing fully with the action. With the full focus of the live stream currently on the action out on track. Strouty to the outside line now overtakes Max Power for the race lead. He's on that set of soft compound of tyres. His set of softs, though, are going to be pretty worn towards the end of this race. But Strouty there leading the way from Max Power there in second. Max van der Geist there in third. Ickel there in fourth, Mike there in fifth, Nathan there in sixth. I'll try to do a quick roll call before anybody tries to dive bomb. Marlon, Demongil, Aladini, Atesh top 10, Boumier, Redder, Ollie Olaf and Tipple top 14. And everything as well is going to be going great guns. Rami there in the chat saying Vamos la RCR. Yeah, RCR are doing very well, I've got to say. Aladini further down the field along with Redder, who both had spins actually. Aladini has been in the pit lane there just after his spin, so he's the last one to come in for the RCR team. Doing a good job. They're down in 12th, down there in 14th position. Because Bude there in the chat as well, who I believe once upon a time was Mr. J.R. Yona's, it might be the wrong person, but I believe he was J.R. Yona's engineer. Hope you are doing very well. The CPI man, of course. Strategy out on top, Max Power in second, Max van der Geist there in third. Good result for VRT incoming here, though. I'm suspecting VRT is going to be on the top at the end of race 1 here, because they're second, third, fourth and fifth currently out on track. Only one thing that'll be better: first, second, third and fourth, and that'd be ideal if Strategy can make a mistake somewhere out on track. But we're now on to lap 11 out of, now going on towards lap 12 out of 13, with only 2 laps to go here, of course, in Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi, and, of course, the Silverstone Grand Prix to come up, and it is Strategy that leads the way. Max Power there in second, Max van der Geist there currently in third position, Ickel and Mike there fourth and fifth, Nathan there in sixth, Marlon, Demongil, Atesh and Boumier, as now Max van der Geist is going to look for the move on Max Power. VRT boys are going to swap positions, may as well. Max van der Geist is on the set of soft compound of tyres. He's there in second, Max Power there in third, Ickel there in fourth, Mike there in fifth. Oh, as I really need to, might need to top up on my drink, I think, after this, but Nathan on the back of Mike, looking good. 5th and 6th position, currently out on track. Or a little bit of a snap of oversteer there, actually, from Mike. Got caught on the inside wall, I think. And now Nathan JB is right there or thereabouts. The Mercedes man looking to try and get the job done. But I wonder if he's just hit the wall somewhere. Might be struggling with any damage in the car. But Nathan looking there in 6th position, doing a good job. Straight there, leading the way. Max van der Geist there currently in 2nd. With Max Power there currently in 3rd. Strategy leading the way, Max van der Geist in 2nd. Max Power there currently in 3rd. Can I come through the left-hander of turn number 17? On the run now down the straight once again in towards turns 22 and 23. Strategy Max van der Geist. Max Power holding the top 3 spots. Might be the top 3 towards the end of this race here as well. Strategy Max van der Geist. This is going to be the main battle, I think, for the race win for the black and white here in Jeddah. Of course, Abu Dhabi and Silverstone still to come up, so if you do want to tune in for that, you can. And as I say, no matter what background you're from, no matter what country you're from, we welcome all here, of course, in League Racing TV. It's unfortunate what is going on in real world politics, especially with the situation in Ukraine. And of course, we do understand here in the Western world the situation that the Russians are in as well, and we totally appreciate that, and it's a very hard life, I'm sure, to live if you are living in that country right now. Same with Ukraine, albeit on a whole different scale. both countries, though, should be respected, I think, within their world politics. And obviously, so much has happened in the last year. It's hard to forget sometimes what is actually reality and what is actually fake. And sim racing, oh my word, Strategy nearly has a mistake. If you cut back to the action, Strategy has a huge moment there, coming out of turn number 11. Nearly had me on the edge of my seat, quite literally here in the commentary box. But Strategy, Max van der Gijs, and Max Power, the top three. Oh my word, goodness me, Strategy has a huge moment on that outside curb, and again, Max van der Gijs this time having a huge moment on that outside curb as well. Max Power there in third, Ickel there in fourth, Mike there in fifth. But are we going to see overtakes? Maybe for VRT 1-2. Max van der Gijs is now charging Strategy all of a sudden, and Strategy's under pressure. The VRR man is beginning to crack, and Max van der Gijs now is within slipstream range, now within the DRS. Looks toward the outside line here to get the job done, and he does get the job done indeed. Max van der Gijs soon, he's into the lead of the race. Strategy there in second, Max Power there in third. That's probably going to have their end up unless Strategy gets a phenomenal run at the final corner, which he doesn't. Max van der Gijs is going to take bragging rights. It's the Dutchman that's going to come out on top. Max van der Gijs wins. Strategy there in second, Max Power there in third. Phenomenal race at the end of the day. Mike there with that 3-second penalty dropping down slightly. Nathan there jumping ahead of him along with Ickel, fourth and fifth. In the end, VRT will be, of course, leading the championship. I guarantee on that. Fantastic performance from them. Atish there towards the line. What could have it been for him if he didn't have that spin? He's down there in 9th position at the end of the race. The VIR man there in 9th. Redder there to come across the line to finish in 10th, with Bumier there in 11th. Hold on that for a second, because Ollie Olaf is there with Tipple trying to go all the way around the outside, and Ollie Olaf has just outdone Tipple and has literally put Tipple maybe in a little bit of a drink coma there. Ollie Olaf in 13th, Tipple there in 14th, gets the job done. Very late on VIR. Pick up VIR, I should say. That is going to be the death of me. I'm absolutely sure VIR are going to be picking up extra points as a result, as Mike gets awarded driver of the day, awarded by the in-game fans. And yeah, fantastic racing out on track in Saudi Arabia. Of course, we are here for one cause and one cause only. That is the charity event, of course, here for the UNHCR appeal. We understand, as I say, the situation, of course, in Russia as well as in Ukraine is very difficult. It's a very tense political situation, no matter where you are in the world. And at the end of the day, we are just doing what we love, and that is giving something back, of course, to charity. And if it's not the right charity, then we apologise. But for us, we think it is the right charity in terms of our beliefs and our opinions as well. So hopefully you can respect that. Hopefully you are here for the right reasons. And hopefully you can enjoy 2 more races as well here on the Racing TV. For, of course, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix and, of course, the Silverstone British Grand Prix as well, which will be the last up. But we will run through the podium celebrations. There is, of course, Max van der Gijs, the top step of the podium. Great race in the end. Jeddah always provides good racing. And Max van der Gijs, in the end, is the one out on top. From the Strategy there in second. Max Power there in third. Ickel there in fourth. Nathan JB there in fifth. Mike there in sixth. Marlon there in seventh. VRT, I can confirm, are definitely going to be on top in terms of the points. Not sure how many points they'll be on. I'm sure Mays will be working that out in the little break that we've got. Marlon there in seventh. Demonjo there in eighth. Atish there in 9th, Redder there in the top 10, and then Bumier in 11th, Aladini in 12th, Ollie Olaf in 13th, Tipple in 14th. Only the 2 DNFs at the end of the day. Loke, of course, crashing out on track. Unfortunate for him, and Tony retiring in the pit lane a couple of laps later. He there finishing in 15th, and IRT not picking up the points either, which is disappointing from their perspective. So Max van der Gijs out on top, Strategy there in second. What we will do is just try and roll through some of the action that is going to be happening to come up, of course, on League Racing TV as we move forward. I'll just stick it on the track map for now while we run through and while I get everything loaded on the side of me. I will, of course, join the second lobby very, very soon indeed. Frankie, though, in the comment section saying, well, calling me a goat by the looks. Thank you very much for calling me a goat. I really do appreciate that. It is literally coming out of my own paycheck, I think, that I'm doing this live stream. But it is a fantastic cause, of course. Everything is in the description as well if you do want to donate to this fantastic cause. For the UNHCR, the appeal, of course, for Ukraine. And it's personal to my girlfriend's family as well. She helped kids from Chernobyl, from the Chernobyl incident back in the day. I think it was in late 2000s, early 2010s, I think it was. And there was a trip that used to come to where I near enough live in Seaham, just about 6 mile away from me. And there was an exchange program between kids from Chernobyl coming to the UK, experiencing life over here in the UK, experiencing life for 2 weeks. And yeah, those were magical 2 weeks. I'm delighted to report that that the people that my girlfriend and her family looked after are doing very, very well. One of them that we are in touch with pretty much every single week, which is fantastic. She's currently, of course, she fled the war at the start. She's now living in Poland, and it's just grateful. I think that everyone is safe and everyone is going to be fighting for the big cause. I think to move forward, as I have now been given the invite into the second lobby, so bear with me. I was going to run through what was going to go on in for the upcoming races and upcoming live streams, of course, here on the Racing TV, which are not charity events, I may add as well. Of course, it is going to be the PC side, the Esports Challenge Cup, which I need to check if I got already loaded into my OBS, because if I have, I can just bring that up on my screen. That's the EML calendar. That's the PSGL calendar. No, I have not. So I'll find that calendar. I will read it out to you in due course. But yeah, the link is also in the Discord server. If you are in the EML Discord server, you might not have the roles. I hope people can see it though freely. It's on the charity donation on the Esports Challenge Cup, that section on the Discord, which is of course in the description if you do want to join up as well. That is also there. I don't know why, by the way, I had to I've restarted my game to join the lobby when I could have just joined it first time. I'm stupid, as you can clearly tell. But we are going to get going, as I say, very soon indeed, for the second bit of racing here in Abu Dhabi. There is Abu Dhabi currently being shown to you on your screen. Of course, 16 turns away around this brand new layout, of course, here in Abu Dhabi. Current point standings as well, literally just been posted in the live chat. Thank you very much, Maze. VRT out on top on 81 points. I did say they would be leading the championship. I don't know how many points by, but they are 24 points ahead of VIR there in second on 57. IRT there in third on 36, and RCR a little bit of ground to make up, but we are still in the early stages of the event with only 2 more races to go, of course, in Abu Dhabi at Silverstone. That is on 24 points. But yeah, the link is in the Discord. It's in the description as well. The Esports Masters League Discord link if you do want to join. There is also the Season 9 sign-ups form there for TML, which I have not deleted out of the description, which is unfortunate. Season 9 is, there's not going to be another season of TML, unfortunately. We did a poll a little bit earlier on in the week, as I'll bring you back to the screen now within the lobby, and we'll wait for the drivers to join very shortly. But yeah, TML, moving forward, I can exclusively announce, because I'm the lead director for TML, moving forward onto F1 23, that we are going to be competing on the new game. So the new F1 23 game is going to be when Season 10 is going to be run. Season 10 is going to be a much bigger and better season, I can report as well. I am having early planning phases in terms of the calendar, in terms of the rules, any feedback overhaul that we need to do. Thank you very much, by the way, for your feedback if you have given that for TML. So Season 10 is going to be on the new game. I could be at liberty to say when the new game is coming out. I do know when it is coming out, but I'm not going to spoil the fun for everyone here, as this is a charity event at the end of the day, and that should be the first focus of all of our attentions, I think, coming into, of course, the final 2 races here for the event. But yeah, TML, if you do want a little bit of breaking news on that, it is going to be back for Season 10. Hopefully bigger and better than ever. And yeah, the feedback as well that we've been given. I know Jensen and Tom, I think, have put some feedback forward from the TML F1 side. And if you haven't, there is a feedback form there within this Discord as well. May saying October 20th. I did tell Maze the date in DMs a little bit earlier on Discord, so he might be at liberty to know when the game is coming out as well. October 20th, though, is not going to be the date. It's going to be a lot sooner than what people are expecting, is what I've heard on the grapevine from doing Legacy Division and other leagues as well, and speaking to people there regarding that. Now, there have been a couple of changes, I believe, to the driver lineup for race number 2. Scarline, I've noticed, has just joined into the session for VIR. I believe he is replacing the other Red Bull of Stroudy, I think it was. So Skyline there is going to be in for the VIR team. Nord is going to be in there for the VRT team as well. He's done a good job in the EML team event. Not the EML team event. He has done well on the EML team event, but he's also done well in the NLR team event, which of course you can catch on Saturdays on the Next Level Racing Esports channel. That is going to be my next commentary up, I believe. Maybe Console Tier 1 on Friday, if I'm very much lucky enough and Ryan Jacobs races again. That is when you can next catch me, of course, in terms of live streams. Loke is just joining the session as well. Got 2 more drivers to join, and then we should be good to go very, very soon. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting night. As I'll say, all of that money is going to be donated to the UNHCR for the Ukraine appeal. Now, at the United Nations at the minute, if nobody's been keeping up with the politics, Russia actually holds the seats in the United Nations at the minute. So they're actually dictating the business of the United Nations at the end of the day. And, of course, their perception of the what's happening is different to what we are experiencing, of course, here in the Western media. I think it's good, though. They are a permanent member, of course, the United Nations as well. Russia, of course, does withhold their rights for their own citizens, and that is what is coming forward, of course, within the United Nations as well. So it's very difficult because we're here in the Western world. We're doing this charity event. It's just a little old thing, but in perceptions can be a little bit different, certainly from media reporting, certainly from independent media. BBC, Sky News are independent, of course, over here in the UK. They're providing a pretty realistic picture of what is going on, even though it has honestly dropped down here in the West. Hopefully more people can get behind the support for Ukraine and the support, of course, of what is going to happen within the next couple of months, because, my word, the people of Ukraine really do need our help right now. And that is, of course, the full focus of what this charity event is going to be about as well. And as I mentioned there with the little story when I was flicking through and trying to get the slides ready for race 2 here in Abu Dhabi, that just brought home, I think, the refugee crisis. I think there's more than 17 million of the Ukrainian population displaced because of the war in Ukraine. Probably more as we speak right now. People are probably getting displaced right now in Ukraine. And it is a shame. It is a shame. And I cannot, for the life of me, have enough words to say what is going on, because I think it touches everyone here, no matter what background you are, no matter what country you're from. Everyone will be touched by this, no matter what your perception is of things. We are all here as a community, just a league racing community, just donating, of course, money towards the UNHCR and giving good racing while we do it as well. That is our passion. There are different passions out there as well. There are different life forms as well out there for the world to see, and hopefully, common sense will prevail. Peace can return to Europe once again. For both Russia and for Ukraine, because I think it will be a lot better world if there was peace, certainly in. And, I mean, peace was proven 25 years ago for the Good Friday Agreement in Northern Ireland. Yes, it's different, it's a totally different context, but peace can happen. Hopefully it is not too far away, and hopefully, I really, really do hope that peace prevails, and that common sense prevails at the end of the day, because I think we can all live with a bit of common sense these days. But yeah, we are going to be getting going very soon indeed for race 2. We are, I think, a minute out from getting going for race 2 here in Abu Dhabi. We are sticking to our time schedule. I thought there was going to be a case of drivers potentially going a little bit early. But yeah, I thought my capture card was not working there with the sound. I've just realised, though, because I've rejoined the game through the invites, there is no sound coming through on the Elgato. So, yeah, James is just having a dippy northern moment there from my end. But yeah, more action to come, of course, on League Racing TV. If you do want to tune in, of course, to more action that is going to unfold out on track, I can report that the Esports Challenge Cup event is happening once again. Now, I need to find the calendar, wherever that may be. The calendar is as follows. And in fact, actually, it's the final round this week in the EML Challenge Cup. 9 PM UK time. Stream will probably be a little bit later. I know Nathan Richards is going to be doing, I believe, the E-Series for PSGL, and he has to hot-foot it over to the EML Challenge Cup. Hopefully the season finale will be live streamed on the channel. It'll be fantastic. I know there was mention, however, from Nathan in the PSGL Discord. He is doing an event for his university, so he's going to be actually covering a university event very, very soon. And that is tomorrow, so it doesn't affect EML Premier, the Challenge Cup event on PC. Nathan Richards, I'm assuming, will be there for the finale for the Esports Masters League Challenge Cup for the PC. And it is a fantastic race, of course. We have had the likes of Taicho Hardy, who's going to be, of course, in F1 Esports Challengers. We've got some of the F1 Esports Challengers guys over there competing in the race as well. Their focus, of course, shifts next week because F1 Esports Challengers start for Xbox, for PS, and for PC. I believe, if I've got my timing schedules right, I believe it's PC on Tuesdays, PS on Wednesdays, and Xbox on Thursdays, if I'm not mistaken. I'm unfortunately not going to be covering F1 Esports Challengers, as is the norm. I think normally these days, I am not going to be doing that this season, unfortunately. Kevin McGinley and George Morgan, though, however, are, and I think it's fantastic that they do provide that opportunity. Kevin McGinley, of course, once on this channel, so if you do want to tune in for that, you can do indeed. And as I say, yeah, Xbox actually on the 18th of April, so that is actually Tuesday, 18th of April for Xbox. PlayStation, as I mentioned, is on Wednesdays, and that's at 7 o'clock. That is 7 o'clock UK time. Bahrain is the first round of the championship, by the way, if you are wondering. And Bahrain as well for the PC side on Thursday. So swap PC and Xbox around from what I said. And you've got your F1 Esports Challengers calendar as well. And it is going to be very, very interesting indeed. And oh my word, I have been given an application error. As you can tell on your live streams right now, yeah, I have been given a blue screen, which is very, very nice indeed. So I'll swap to the track map. I have got the invite from Dirk, I believe, still. And yeah, not everything goes to plan sometimes on these live streams, but there we are. The game is just loading, by the way, if you are wondering. There is the slide just to prove that. But yeah, blue screen of death already, absolutely perfect. And yeah, it should be very interesting indeed, the racing add-on track. I will get into the lobby. Hopefully we won't miss too much of one-shot qualifying. If we don't, then if we do, then I apologise. Nothing I can do. Just a random blue screen, and I've had it around this track before, so do not even say it was my internet. My internet has been fine. Fingers crossed, paws crossed, everything crossed that it is going to be fine. But to remind you, VRT leading the way on 81 points, VAR in second on 57, IRT in third on 36, and RCO in fourth on 24 points. And of course, Maze, providing that there's no stewarding to be done in the background, which I'm pretty sure there won't be in an event like this. We should get a finalised standings before we go off air, which will be around about 9 o'clock potentially. But I'm now going to hop into spectate mode. Hopefully it doesn't crash the game again. I apologise if it is taking a little bit longer time to load. I'm just literally loading into the lobby now. In fact, I can bring it up for you right now. Hopefully we will not be too far into one-shot qualifying. Hopefully one-shot qualifying's not even started yet. But yeah, blue screens do happen. I think some of the drivers had that in the first race in Jeddah as well. Bumier, I think, as well had it. But we're now going into the lobby. Hopefully no blue screen, please. And there we are. And in fact, Borland's retired from the session. We're on board with Redder once again. But Antonio is one of the first out on track. And he is... Oh no, there's Strauzy. Sorry, Strauzy's coming through the final couple of corners. The VAR man right up there. IRT Antonio right up there. Right at the end of one-shot qualifying. Not sure what happened. But in the end, Strauzy's out on top once again. Dirk there in second. Antonio there in third. Much better pace than him around here in Abu Dhabi. Redder there down in 14th position further down the field. I'm wondering why they were miles ahead. And then I realised Redder must be about 10 seconds off the page. But Strauzy out on top. Dirk in second. Antonio there in third. VIR. Now putting the fight, of course, to VRT potentially here in Abu Dhabi. Running through the full grid. I wish I could bring you more action of one-shot qualifying, but yeah, that's just how it goes sometimes. But it is Strauzy out on top from Dirk there in second VRT. IRT Antonio and IRT Demonja there filling out the second row of the grid. Then the whole host of the other VRT guys, Max van der Geist, Nord and Ickel there, 5th, 6th and 7th. Skyline there in 8th, Nathan JB in 9th, Ollie Olaf there in 10th, Renz on 11th, Aladini in 12th, Tipple there in 13th, in the end Radar down in 14th, 20 seconds off the pace. He will be better though in the race, I guarantee that. Loke in 15th, and Marlon, where on earth has his pace gone from PSGL F1? Marlon should be doing a lot better in this event. In the end, down in 16th position, and clearly saying that the other PSGL tiers are better than PSGL F1 right now, as it stands here from the League Racing TV side and from this charity event. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I'm just going to clear my throat for about 30 seconds. I will be back with you in around that time. Throat cleared. There we go. And now we're better get going for racing here in Abu Dhabi. Round 2 of the EML Challenge Cup. This charity event, of course, supporting UNHCR. And all of that, of course, you can find in the description below on this very video, including the music that we use at the start of the live stream as well. But yeah, this is going to be a very interesting race. Current donations, by the way, we have had more donations coming through. Tom Zaggers with a £5 donation, fantastic. And Miss Piggy, wonder who that could be. Related to Kermit, I'm sure, probably his wife. Has donated £10 and a £2.50 gift aid donation as well. So thank you very much, Miss Piggy. All your support, of course, goes to the people of Ukraine and, of course, the UNHCR as well, where £45 could provide, of course, 10 warm police blankets to refugees fleeing the war, and £86.37 could provide vital support for a child in Ukraine, including outreach activities and daycare centres as well. And all of that, of course, is in the description around the story within that link that you click. As we are going to go for 5 red lights here in Abu Dhabi, round 2 of the EA Esports Challenge Cup charity event, and it is Light down where we go, and Strategy gets a very good start. Dirk, I think, is quick off the line, though, and he might actually get to the running towards turn 1, but in the end has to try and dive to the inside line there to defend off Antonio. And in the end, Max van der Geist is going around the outside of Demondre, going around the outside now, turn number 2, and the Alfa Romeo already through. It's a beautiful move there from Max van der Geist. He is through, and he's into 4th position. Fantastic move there. He's on that set of soft, set of medium compound tyres. Ickles the one on a set of softs as Nord is going around in the background. A shot they now cascade their way in towards turn number 5 for the first time here in Abu Dhabi. Nord, by the way, is round, as I say, in the background. Renz as well, swap in for Aston Martin for the IRT team. He is there in 8th position. Strategy and Antonio side by side now in toward the left-hander of turn number 6, and then into the right-hander of turn number 7. And Dirk in the end leads the way, so we've got ahead of Strategy down the pit straight, down the back straight, and now down the back straight, the old GP2 pit straight. Antonio there in 2nd, Strategy there in 3rd, doing a good job as it stands out on track. Max van der Geist there in 4th, Demandre there in 5th, Ickel there in 6th, and he looks towards the inside line of turn number 9. Doesn't want to do an FEI your own around there in the WR race console tier 1 that we covered a couple of weeks ago around here. But Max van der Geist the inside line of turn number 11, just about getting the job done. Demandre there in 5th is just trying to fight now, coming to the left hand of 14 with the Marina on the right hand side of the track. Dirk leads the way by a second. Just how good are those soft compound tyres those we can embark onto lap 2 and 3 remain to be seen, but Dirk holds the lead from Antonio in 2nd, Strategy there in 3rd, and that is Ickel round in the wall. Ickel round in the wall. VRT man's got a T-tray of a front wing, left side end plate damage completely off the car, and Ickel, because he's missed the pit lane, he can't reverse into the pits. He has got to go around, unfortunately, and troop back round for another one, and he's nearly side by side with Redder, in fact, as well, but he, in the end, gets out of the way. Ollie left there in 16th as well. Is into the pit lane after picking up from wing damage. Strategy on the back of Antonio once again. Demondre on the back of Max van der Geist. Running down the straight, it's Max and Demondre that we're going to run on ball with. So now coming toward the outside line and towards turn number 6. He dives it to the inside line to the IRT man. Just about holds the move to Max van der Geist. Gets a good run on the exit of Demondre, and now is going to go side by side once again. Running down in towards turn number 9, he's going to try and dice his way potentially for position. Looks towards the inside line potentially, and in the end doesn't want to dummy it. And speaking of dummy, next Strategy nearly went up the inside of Antonio there. I think he did well just to back off that. Antonio there in 2nd, Strategy there in 3rd. Scott on there in 8th position as well on the back of Renz, but Just fix the timing there on the left-hand side. Logan Marlon having a bit of contact. Marlon there is through on the outside of the track. Not sure if that was an illegal move there from Marlon. Regardless, he's doing his into 10th, and it's not an illegal move because he's letting them back through. Lope there in 10th, Marlon there in 11th, and Marlon actually cheekily is going to go back around the outside of turn 16. Ren's now on the wall on the right-hand side, and Marlon's through, and he's now into 9th position. Because Ren's has spun, he has lost his front wing, I think, as well. I think he's got left-side end plate damage on the car. Let's have a look. No, he hasn't. Actually, he's avoided that, but I think he has got left-side end plate damage potentially on the car. Max van der Geist does a Max Verstappen to the inside line at turn number 5. In the end, Antonio saw it coming. Different cars, still the same result. Max van der Geist in 3rd, now in Antonio in 4th, and now Antonio in the car of Sir Lewis Hamilton, I'm absolutely sure, is going to try and get back at him down the straight. And this is what 2021 didn't have on the script. Lewis, though, as Lewis goes a bit deep, Antonio goes a bit deep, I should say. Max van der Geist, though, is on the back. We are literally seeing this as that Marlon has had to cut across the curb, I think, with a 10-second penalty. Max van der Geist, though, is not close enough this time around on Antonio. Actually, in towards turn 9 he is. He'll get the job done. He holds currently for 3rd. Marlon's picked up a 5-second penalty for corner cutting and gaining a position off track. I'm assuming that was with Aladini, if I'm not mistaken. Otherwise, it would have been against Loke, and he's just cascaded over the curb and then got done by a 5-second penalty, like Michael Massey did, of course, to the incident between Hamilton and Verstappen on that one in the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix in 2021. But the less I say about that, the better. Dirk leading the way from Stroudy there in 2nd. Antonio there currently in 3rd as we now come through the right-hand return number 3 on board with the man in 2nd position. Antonio there in 3rd, doing a great job. Max van der Geist in 4th. Demontre there in 5th. There was a yellow flag. That is Redder, I think, who was spun through the final corner. Plenty of drivers getting caught through the final corner on this race here in Abu Dhabi. Skyline on the back of Nathan JP is looking quite interesting as well. And the run now down the straight. Ren has gone for another spin coming through turn number 1. Very unfortunate from Redder's perspective. They'll lead in the way. Starting 2nd, Antonio there in 3rd. Redder is now completely off through turn number 1. I wonder if he's got a problem potentially with the RCR car. In the Haas, of course. Redder is getting back underway, I think, and actually he's been disqualified. So Redder has been disqualified for parking in a dangerous location. I can only assume he's had a wheel disconnect there, to be honest. Max van der Geist still very deep out of turn number 9, and Demontre all of a sudden is side by side with them coming out the corner. It will favour the inside now for turn number 12. And in the end, oh my word, Demontre goes for a dive bomb toward the inside line. Very late on the brakes. You can get the car stopped there much, much quicker. And in the end, Demontre gets the car stopped too much quicker, then goes for half spin, coming through, and a full spin, in fact, coming through the left-hander there at turn 13. That is why you do not go for moving around this track, and Loke is also in the wall as well. So RCR having an absolute nightmare of a race here. Loke now round, and Demontre there down in 10th position. Red has left the session. Loke has left the session there as well. Hopefully he can retire. He's retired out on track. Not great from the RCR perspective. Loke, though, has retired out on track. He is into... He's just off, I think, from the final corner. So that is going to cause a yellow flag through there. It will get removed, of course, very soon indeed. Marlon, though, once again on the back of Aladini. This time to try and get the job done. There's also a move further up the field. Can't see who that is at this stage. But Marlon to the outside line should get the job done on Aladini. Aladini, to be fair, gives him room when Marlon's through very easily. You do not invite Marlon with that much of a gap. I think it was Max van der Geist or Nathan, one of the two, that got through on each other. So Nathan through, I think, into 4th and ahead of Antonio. That's what I think the move was. Further up the field. And again, Antonio just goes a little bit deep. Tries to get the exit outside exit through turn number 9. I think is probably the better run coming through that corner, from that corner. Dirk will leading the way for VRT from VIR's Stroudy. They're in 2nd. VRT's Max van der Geist in 3rd. The IRT's Nathan JB and Antonio 4th and 5th. However, Nathan JB all over the road, losing control of the car nearly. Could maybe come in the pit lane, as Dirk is into the pit lane from the race lead. So VRT Dirk into the pit lane from the race lead. And this now is going to be interesting. He'll go into a set of medium compound tyres. He'll be ahead of everyone else, but he had a 3-second gap. Keep that as a mental note. 3-second gap he had. Whether or not he holds that with the overcut around here remains to be seen. Marlon on the back of Antonio, though, to the outside line of turn number 5. Mercedes against Red Bull. We've seen this before around turn number 5. Oh, and in the end, the Mercedes gets forced and Marlon's in the wall. Marlon in the wall, gets forced on the outside curb by Antonio. And Antonio, to be fair, gave him about as much room as he got given there. Marlon in the end, caught on the outside curb, tried to cover it one way, tried to cover it the other way, then spun the other way round. And Marlon there down 11th. That is unfortunate. VIR are not going to be happy with that. To be honest, from my perspective, I didn't see really much wrong with that. I think Marlon was on a very much a collision course for that curb from where he positioned his car. Demonja now side by side with Tipple in the meantime as well. Demonja looking to try and get Tipple in towards turn number 9. In the end, Aston Martin is through and he's in 2-7. Tipple there and they get a job done. But yeah, Antonio, to be fair, he left him short of room. But I think he was entitled to leave him short of room. He had the move done coming out the corner. Marlon was caught on the outside curb, and the way you force a driver, as Norda's now through on Tipple, he must have a little bit of damage potentially on the car, as Marlon has gone for spin. Again, he's caught up in a collision with Renz. So Renz, I'm not sure if he's gone for spin. Marlon's got left side end plate damage. The man from PSG F1, if he couldn't get any more unlucky, there was this. And Nathan actually is retired out of the race through turn number 1. Turn number 1, there is Nathan JB, left-hand side of the track, spinning out of turn number 1. Outside curbs are deadly around here. Nathan JB's just proved that. And he's out of the race. Very, very unfortunate indeed. But yeah, Antonio, for my reckoning, he didn't really do anything wrong, I think, in that battle. I will review that. Of course, seeing it live and seeing it off camera is two totally different things, and I can change an opinion. But for me, Antonio, he had that inside line, and Marlon on the outside could have been forced to back out. He didn't in the end. He didn't really need to back out. Antonio didn't really need to go for the move either. So you put it like that, and it's a bit like a racing instant. It's unfortunate for Marlon's perspective because he's just then spun with Renz further down the field, and he's now right down the back of the field. But the other VIR man of Skyline is doing a good job, and the overcut around here is very potent. You don't want to be on the soft compound tyres around here in Abu Dhabi for too long. Renz and Marlon there, 12th and 13th position, they are going to be shot towards the end of the race. Absolutely shot, the tyres towards the end of the race. And I mean that in the terms of very, very high graining and high tyre wear around this track, which is the case. As Oliola has got a 3-second penalty. 3-second penalty, by the way, on that 8 out of 15. Nord on 3, Oliola on 3. And Marlon on 10, and I thought I heard somebody coming through. Oh, it was Max van der Geist has had a huge moment there, coming through turn number 2. Just about recovers the car. He's lost all sorts of time now to Skyline. Skyline now back within DRS range. I think he was just within it anyways. As there is another spinner, and that is Nord. Nord has gone round further down the field as well. And Nord has left the session, which is not ideal. BRT man out of the session. Not sure if 325% races are getting in their heads a little bit here. It might potentially be. Certainly not getting in my head. I'm enjoying this. Strategy leads the way. Max van der Geist in 2nd. Skyline there in 3rd. Antonio there, of course, in 4th for the Esports Challenge Cup event. In support, of course, for UNHCR and the Ukraine appeal as well. Skyline is on the back of Max van der Geist. I will give you a point update as well as a donation update at the end of this race here in Abu Dhabi. I think my voice can last until we get to Silverstone of 13 laps to Silverstone. Hope it does. Be to your benefit. So Nias Tipple is through on Nord. His AI is down the field. Stroudsy still continuing on, and in fact all the guys in a set of mediums in the top 5 are continuing on at this stage. Demonja could be the one to come in the pit lane, however. And yes, he is in. Perfect timing. He's in the pit lane. Wasn't choreographed whatsoever, but the Aston Martin threw into position, and he's into the pit lane. Dirk is going to continue on. He's going to try and go overcutting on him. Demonja into the pit lane. That's when the Geist is spun now, coming out of turn number 3 as well. So we caught on the outside curb. Ran wide last time around. This time around, yeah, hasn't worked. Max van der Geist there down in 5th. Disappointing. BRT man doing a good job. That puts him out of contention though for the race win. Demonja out of the pit lane. Where is Olaf? Olaf is on the run towards turn number 1. So Demonja is miles ahead in the Aston Martin here. The AlphaTauri Olaf taking very, very strange track limits, I've got to say, through there. But yeah, Abu Dhabi not living up to what we saw with Jeddah. Jeddah, so far the best race of tonight. Strategy leading the way. Skyline in second, Antonio there in third. And the gap that Strategy is pulling out on Skyline is impressive. 3.3, 3.4, 3.5 seconds in fact now. 3.6 just touching there to Skyline. Strategy is showing very good pace. Now, I haven't seen Strategy drive that much actually on this game compared to recent games, because I think he is one of the newest drivers into the VIR team as well. Doing a great job though. Should be in the pit lane I think next time around. You can only last around 4 or 5 laps on a set of soft compound tyres around here, as Antonio was in. So Antonio was into the pit lane. IRT man is in. So we'll see what the Mercedes man will do in terms of his strategy call. It will of course be under a set of soft compound tyres. Perhaps could potentially go set of hards. Just maintain that tyre wear towards the end of the race. Could potentially do that, but you never know. You never know, indeed. Strategy though leads. Skyline in second. Aldini in third, as Mac van der Geis is in the pit lane as well. Set of softs go on for him. And he is not going to front wing change. So after that spin, he's not going to front wing change. Tippolo and Antonio are side by side coming out of the pit lane. And that is a good camera angle. Literally side by side. There is Antonio just in front. Tipple is behind him. Perfect from Antonio's perspective. Not so perfect from Tipple's perspective. He's still got to come in the pit lane. He's there down in 6th position right now as the RCR man. RCR, of course, only having 2 drivers in the race. Low retiring. I'm not sure what happened to him. I think he had a spin, maybe having real wing damage from retiring the car. As Render's spun, I think. No, sorry, Ollie Olaf has spun. Ollie Olaf has spun. The VAR man is down and out of the race. And Render's also lost position to Marlon in through the finals. In through turn number 2, in fact, that was. They're having their own private squabble. We'll focus on the action though ahead, because we are going to get the pit stops I think now from the leaders. Strategy, yeah, into the pits. So Strategy in. Lap 10 out of 15. Now until lap 11 out of 15 as he comes in the pit lane, gets the car stopped. There's a 50 mile an hour. As a yawn all of a sudden hits me during commentary. That's not great. Strategy though is onto set of soft compound tyres. Now, where is Mr. Antonio? Antonio is there. Coming through the final corner. Strategy is there. Wow. Miles ahead. Absolutely miles ahead of Strategy compared to Antonio. Antonio is there. He's going to be side by side maybe with Skyline coming out of the pit lane. Where is Skyline? He is there. There he is. Left-hand side. Just about. And Antonio is ahead. But that's perfect from Skyline. He's on fresher tyres and he will go much fresher towards the end of the race. Do not rule him out of this either. Dirk leads the way. Strategy there in second. Antonio there in third. If you are enjoying the stream, by the way, like, comment, subscribe. Tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. More action to come, as I've mentioned already tonight. Esports Challenge Cup for the PC side. Nathan Richards taking to the action, of course, on Friday night. That stream, as I say, should be live around about 9:15, given how Nathan is doing the E-Series beforehand. Could run a little bit later. Skyline now looks the outside line on Antonio. Rear wing like a Skyline, and he's into third. Nice move there from Skyline, getting the job done on Antonio. Antonio will try and battle back. Not like that, though. His Marlon has picked up a 5-second penalty for ignoring a yellow flag. And I wonder if that's because Ollie Olaf spun, potentially. They're still having their own private squabble. I'm going to ride on board with this now and see what these guys are doing further down the field. Renz and Marlon side by side. Oh, and Renz comes across on Marlon. And Marlon, in the end, hitboxes him to the wall. And that's unfortunate. It's not needed. It's a charity event, for goodness sake. It's just not needed. Oh, my word, all the other things spun through there. But Renz, no front wing. Seen it happen before once upon a time in Console Tier 1 a couple of weeks ago. Was trying to think from my perspective. It was a Red Bull. It was Sav, I think. It was Sav, the PSR man, and it was somebody else who had that same moment coming through down the straight. They made contact. It was further down the straight. It was where basically the wall comes out. Don't run the escape road. It's where the wall comes out on you, and that's why these positions are so easy to gain and whatever. I was just losing train of thought there. As Marlon's gone for spin, in fact. Oh, I nearly recovers the car right in front of Ollie Olaf. Renson put then after a foot wing change. Dirk though leading the way. 4 seconds the gap over Strategy. Never looked really in doubt in terms of the overcut from Dirk. Doing a good job, but just how much can Strategy gain in terms of the time? 4 seconds is the gap. Dirk there leading. It is going to be a fascinating race to the checkered flag here as we go into lap 13 of 15 for the Esports Challenge Cup. Mr. Tom Zaggers in the chat, Mr. Head Steward himself for EML and TML. Hope you are doing well, my friend. It has been a while. Dirk Adams top from Strategy in second. Scott in there currently in third. Last time I think Tom tuned into a stream chat, he was actually running a stream for me, and now we are totally different. I'm now running it through OBS. I'm a big boy now, as you can tell. Max van der Geist on the back of Aladini, 5th and 6th position. Max van der Geist, though, now looking on the back of Aladini for this 5th position. We'll see what he can do. The RCR man, to be fair, has done a very good job in this race. He's been a real underdog, I think, within this race. The RCR man doing a great job. Max van der Geist there in 6th. After that spin, he's further down the field than necessary. But he's coming, and he's going to try and get the move towards the outside line here on Aladini, who gives him all the way around the outside. This is surely not on. Max van der Geist, my word. Brilliant move. He's on the lap all the tyres. Aladini gets a phenomenal run, and now he's coming back at him. Aladini all of a sudden, where's this pace coming from? Max van der Geist washed. Aladini, back Mooney's into 5th. Max van der Geist, though, hangs to the inside line. Aladini gives him room. Max van der Geist still trying to poke his Alfa Romeo up the inside line. Oh, Aladini rejoins track and nearly makes contact with him in towards turn number 12. The RCR guys can fight, so can the VRT man, and the VRT man round. Max van der Geist spins. It's a resetted track as well. And the VRT man is round. That was looking like a phenomenal battle up until that point. Just a slight correction forces the car around. Max van der Geist and Aladini, 5th and 7th now, and Aladini is going to be in a bit of no man's land now. Great racing though, fantastic battling, great driving from Aladini, great defence and attack from them both. That is what a battle we want. That is what battles we want in terms of the racing around here. Very good, clean racing, fair racing as well. Hopefully we can have that as we go forward into tonight. And into the final race, of course, at Silverstone. Dirk leading the way from Strategy in 2nd. Scott in there currently in 3rd position. Dirk there leading the way. Ollie Olaf is in quick then as well. Maybe going for fastest lap 10 perhaps? Yes he is. Silverstone compound tyres on. So it's going to be a fastest lap 10 from Ollie Olaf. He's got Renz miles behind him. And Marlon having a round 3 between them both, it seems. And Marlon on the back of Renz. IRT man against a VIR man. VIR man, honestly, I don't think I've enjoyed this game cycle, to be honest, but Marlon might enjoy this moving towards turn number 1. Tries to pull out on Renz around the outside of turn number 1. Would be absolutely remarkable if he can pull this one off. He's off track. Now side by side through turn 2. Now side by side through turn number 3. No quarters given. No room given. Renz is still there side by side with him. Marlon there on the outside line. And in the end, Renz backs off and he gets the DRS. Marlon there down in 12th, up to 12th, Renz in 13th, but Renz using up all that battery, using up all of that DRS as well. He's now coming back at him down the straight. Very difficult from Renz's perspective. Looks like he's lagging slightly, but in the end, he doesn't need lag to get past. He's through and he's into 12th. Great job from him. Marlon there in 13th, also having a battle. They're on to the final lap of the race, and Dirk all of a sudden has now got a second to Stroudsy. Where has this gap all of a sudden came down from? I'm not sure if he had a spin maybe through turn number 3. But Dirk and Stroudsy having their own private battle for the lead of the race. Marlon and Renz having their own private squabble of 12 and 13 at the back end of the field. That is still going in towards turn 12. But Dirk leading the way. He's actually managed this race really well. He's not on that sort of soft compound tyres, and getting that early gap around here was great, as Nord has been disqualified for failing to use the required tyre compounds because his AI is such an idiot. He is there down in 15th. But Dirk, coming around the final couple of corners, really struggling, maybe on fuel as well. Dirk, through the final couple of corners, he's just about hanging on here. Strategy towards the line, slides up the final corner, Dirk wins. Dirk takes the win here in Abu Dhabi. Strategy there in 2nd. Another 200 yards. It could have been different. It could have been well different. Dirk there wins. Strategy in 2nd. Scott on there in 3rd. VRT first 2 wins of tonight. One, of course, in Jeddah, and of course here in Abu Dhabi. Fantastic racing. Ickle now coming across the line to finish in 8th. VRT hard dropping points to VIR. VIR have got 2 drivers ahead compared to VRT. I think VRT on points, though, we're going to outscore them still. But yeah, Dirk takes the win. Strides in second, Skyline there in third, and Ickle there to the line, finishing in eighth. Marlon, by the way, has now mastered Rennes. Not sure if there was a private score between them both. I think just on pressure tyres and much better pace. Marlon putting away at the end of the day from the man there in 12th. And they're coming now through the final couple of corners. Ollie Olaf to finish across the line to finish in 10th, and run out of fuel as well while he does it. Ollie Olaf to the line in 10th. Marlon there to the line in 11th, and his AI frequently crashes into the back of him, and Rennes to the line finishes in 12th. Decent-ish race in Abu Dhabi, little bit helter-skelter, but in the end, that is what you expect from Formula 1 racing on this game, F1 22. And driver of the day, Waller Budding, and Fantip, underdog, Aladini. Totally agreed with the game, actually. Aladini, fantastic job. Great race from him. RCR should be very proud. They are now potentially ahead of IRT, in fact, with that result from Aladini. Of course, Loken and Redder further down the field, of course, DNF, so they are not going to be picking up points for the teams, which is a disappointment. But I'm sure standings will be getting done in due course. They'll be sent to me in due course as well in the chat. I will have that up on my screen. I am going to briefly break as well, just to catch a little bit of liquid down me, a little bit of water, and as well to shut my curtains, because it's getting very dark here in the UK now. I will put my light on. Luckily, I'm not on camera, so you can't see me, which is good. But taking the race win is, of course, the Ferrari man of Dirk. And in the end, I got a little bit tentative from Dirk. But in the end, my favourite name, VRT man, behind Max Power and Max van der Geist, of course, Dirk takes the win from Strider there in second, Scarlett there in third, Antonio there in fourth. Much better race from him compared to Jeddah. So Aladini there in fifth, Montra there in sixth, Max van der Geist in seventh, Ickle there in eighth, Tipple in ninth, Ollie Olaf in 10th, Rennes in 11th, Moll in 12th. They are the finishers. Nathan JB, Loke, Redder, and Nord's AI disqualified himself out of the race there down in 16th. But we are going to be back with you in just a second. I'll just have to get the third and final track map in for tonight, and that is, of course, here in Britain, which I'm going to transition now onto your screens, which you should be able to see now. And that is the track map, of course, just rotating around of what we're going to see here in Silverstone. I am going to close my application down, hopefully not have a blue screen this time, and I will see you on the other side of this short intermission break, where we'll be getting going in around 12 minutes time. So until then in a couple of minutes time, I will be back. So I'm just going to do stuff in my room, and then I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and I'll take you through the point standings and whatever else. Right, I am back. Everything done within my room, light on, and now preparing for the final race of tonight. Of course, it is Silverstone. We have literally just had, as Maze has just brought us up to date with the standings there in the chat. VRT out on top on 136 points. They currently hold a 16-point advantage. The VAR did come into that gap a little bit. In the end, VAR in second on 120. IRT in third on 76, now ahead of RCR, I believe. No, in fact, they've extended their championship lead over them. So IRT there in third on 76, and RCR in fourth on 50 points. On 50 points indeed. So we will get going for the final race. The drivers are literally just joining up into the lobby right now. But of course, we are here at Silverstone, the home of British motorsport. A fantastic track, of course, with the 18 turns awaiting our drivers out on track. It should be a very, very interesting night's worth of action. 5.8 kilometres to length, 3.6 mile, 18 turns. Awaiting our drivers out on track. 2 DRS ons, of course, one down the Wellington straight, one down in towards the Hangar straight, and one down in towards Stowe at 10.15. And then, of course, we've got the overtaking opportunities throughout the circuit as well. Maybe even around the outside of Cops will be absolutely perfect. But, yeah, absolutely fantastic. But, yeah. As Strouty saying, I'm out of the last race. I wish you guys a good night. Enjoy the last race. And thanks for commenting. You are very welcome indeed. I really hope that everything is going to go according to plan. And a big thank you, of course, to Maze, who has done so hard, I've got to say, in terms of getting this on. Dirk as well for doing the lobby invites. He has just literally messaged me saying, for the next race, I invite you first, and then I'll leave. I need to go, so I make the lobby and leave so you can get yours. Yeah, I'm absolutely fine with that. I am absolutely fine with that. Apology, it came up with my spam on the DMs for Discord, so I've only just received it now, Dirk, if you're there in the chat. So apologies. But yeah, I am definitely I'm more than happy to do that. Hopefully it doesn't. Hopefully it doesn't. It will run on my connection, so it shouldn't be too bad. I'm normally quite a good, a stable lobby host. If there's any issues, then yeah, just blame me. Just blame me and my shoddy internet. But there we go. Just responding from that, apologies. But yeah, we are going to be doing that. So I'm now going to be the lobby host, which means I will check the standings. I will check the settings and everything as well before we get underway. But yeah, it is going to be brilliant. I think this final race here at Silverstone, I couldn't wait. I cannot wait, of course, until the final race of the season for Silverstone. Silverstone, of course, is a track that has provided a lot of great action in TML and indeed in the EML in recent weeks as well. But we will be waiting on the drivers to join the lobby, and then we will get underway, of course, out on track. And I will actually bring you into the lobby with me right now. I will also try and get up the what was I going to get up? I was going to get up something. Anyways, I'm not going to get up that because I think I've already went through it. It's the EML Challenge Cup event, of course. Esports Masters League Challenge Cup for PC on Friday. And I could actually bring you up to date with the championship standings regarding that as well. And I get to show off a few more fancy graphics potentially as well. Give me a second. I will literally run through to remind everyone of what happened last week in the Esports Challenge Cup. Just while we've got a little bit of time for when the drivers do join the lobby. Just saving this. If it causes any lag, by the way, I apologise. I'm just saving stuff onto my laptop just to try and get in. VRT potentially could be the championship holders towards the end of tonight. It is still very tight, actually, in the Esports Challenge Cup. It is literally very, very tight indeed. I'm just going to load it up on my end right now so I can actually show you, in terms of the standings, what you've got to look forward to going into the final couple of rounds of the championship. Now, one of the graphics is not going to load perfectly onto my screen, so I apologise about that. Not my doing, Maze. But we will now bring you up to date in terms of what happened in Belgium, of course, for round number 4. Is that correct? Is that correct? Hang on. I am getting myself now completely confused. Unless we've only had 4 races for the Esports Challenge Cup. Must have done. Must have done. Maze, inform me about that before I put the graphic up on the screen. But yeah, we've got 14 drivers in at the minute. Luke has just joined the lobby as well. We've got VAR Darkin, so there's a couple actually of returnees, a couple of newcomers actually as well in this lobby. Quite a few you've been familiar with. Atesh is back. Clarky there for VRT is going to be a new driver in. Julian as well for in the Mercedes. That is for IRT. He did a good job actually in the NLR team event in recent days. So Julian will be there in the Mercedes, of course, for IRT. IRT, of course, represented as well by Demongel and Renz. Artem is in for VRT as well. He's another one that has been doing the bits in the NLR team event as well. And yeah, it is going to be very, very interesting indeed. And literally, as Maze has got me completely confused. Thank you very much for doing the graphics. Literally on time. I was going to show the wrong graphics there. I now need to go back in and save them. I knew it was Saudi Arabia last week. That's why I was getting myself a little bit confused. It was a Talent Factory 1-3. If you do want the information without the graphics. But I'm just getting them up and plugging them into my OBS now, so you can actually see some more fancy graphics on your end, as opposed to going through the other stuff that we will go through, the more detailed stuff. Of course, in terms of as I'm just going to get this up. Give me a second. I will have to change this all for Console T1 probably on Friday as well, but I don't mind. Right, I can actually transition this in now. So, that is what happened last week between the guys out on track. Legend Rosenberg taking the win for Talent Factory. Timur Oh, God. This is a bit of a mouthful for me. Timur Zelenkovic. I hope I pronounced that right. I've just done them an injustice completely. Timur Zelenkovic in second and Tycho Hardy there in third. Or Ticho Hardy there in third for Talent Factory as well. What did that do to the championship standings, you are wondering, for PC? Well, this is not the current standings, by the way, for the event that we're currently on. This is for the PC side on Friday. So if you do want to stay up to date with everything, tune in for Friday. Gonna be a nice night. Gonna be an interesting night as well. I'm competing against EML for WR Console T1 potentially, but Talent Factory out on top on 172 points. It's all to play for, actually, between the top three teams. FER in second on 158. TF10 in third on 147. Then we have ET8 in fourth on 126. We're not entirely out of it either, but it's concerning the top three. It's Talent Factory, FBR, TF10. Only separated by 25 points, the top three. Of course, it is the EML point system that is on play as well for that event. So, it remains to be seen what is going to happen. Hopefully, it's going to be really good racing. Hopefully, it's going to be on track. And we are going to see what is going to happen. NLR, by the way, in 5th on 112. Team Jizu there in 6th on 107. F1 Friends Cup in 7th on 60. Valor Gaming in 8th on 59. They did very well, I've got to say, with two of their drivers in the Legacy Division last night in the team event there for WR around China. But Allison especially did a fantastic job for Valor. So watch out for them, I think, in the final race. TTL 11, 9th on 51. And Team QRT there in 10th on 50 points. And for PC side, honestly, we've got some fantastic teams there. Probably arguably the 10 best teams I think that we've got, bar Parnell Racing and RAG, and of course other teams like Williams Esports. Bar those teams, I think we've got a really, really good lineup for the PC side, and hopefully Season 5 is going to be even better for the Esports Challenge Cup and for Esports Masters League moving forward as well. I know it definitely will be for TML, because TML will be, of course, getting run on the new game. So if you do want the League Racing side, you can sign up for TML. And what I can announce as well is when the new game does indeed come out, we are going to be testing crossplay for the first time. Now, it is only a test. I'm not predicting the future in terms of what we're going to be doing for TML. But if crossplay works, and if it's successful, then we could potentially run TML as a cross-play platform league, bringing, of course, the other console tier of Xbox alongside PS, which would be fantastic. We can get mixed tiers in as regardless for that. It is only a test, though. The game is going to be coming out. If you watch Alex Gillen's video, he pretty much put a pretty good date, I think, on on when the game is going to be coming out. We're going to look at the track map, by the way, because we are now beginning to get going for the final race of the night, and it is going to be very, very interesting indeed. It is clear weather as well for the event for the Esports Masters League as well. So yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. One-shot qualifying though about to begin here at Silverstone. There's the track map for the final time. Now we load into the lobby, and I'll bring you quickly up to date. If I need the link. That'll be perfect if I can get the link in. That'll be great. Just to run you through what donations we do have at this stage. A big thank you, by the way, to everyone, every single one of you that has donated. I know times are tough with the cost of living and everything, but thank you so much to every single one of you for donating. If you haven't already donated, if you're just purely here for the experience of it, thank you for even tuning in and being and bringing us into your home for tonight here on League Racing TV. We've got £87 is still the same amount of donations. Miss Piggy saying I love Kermit still. And we are now about to get going for one-shot qualifying. And I think that was a fake 30-second countdown that we had. So we will get going eventually for one-shot qualifying here at Silverstone. I believe somebody, however, might have just left the session, which is not that great. Hopefully that person can inform me of who it might be. I didn't catch that. I literally saw it on the bottom. So it might have been Dirk, actually. If it was Dirk, then that's absolutely fine. But if it was a driver and we can't find who it is, then they will be invited back, probably by one of their teammates. We have got a migrating host. That is Dirk now leaving the session. So it was somebody else leaving the session. Don't know who left then. Answers on the postcard, please. Might have just been a cheeky invite given out there. But one-shot qualifying about to begin here for Silverstone for the final time for the Esports Challenge Cup event on the PS side. I'm going forward with RCR low. Now down in towards Dhabi at turn number 1. In fact, we'll go on board with Marlon, because I know Marlon's going to be one of the quicker drivers around here. Marlon through turn number 2 at Farm, and then into the right hand of turn number 3 at the Loop, in towards the... in towards Village, I should say. Now into the Loop at turn number 4. Then to the left hand of turn number 5 at Aintree. Aintree, of course, famously hosted the Grand National at the weekend. If you do want to watch that, it is going to be on ITV over here in the UK. Marlon, though, down in 10th position early on. Clarky, Max Power, Demonjal there, 3rd. Arsen there in 4th. Marlon is struggling early. I think he might be running no assist, potentially. If he is running no assist, then full on him. Good on him, I think, for doing that. No wonder he's probably been struggling just a little bit. But Marlon there in 12th. Now coming through Cop's corner. Clarky out on top. Max Power 2nd. Arsen there in 3rd. Bumier there in 4th. Tipple is down there in 15th right now with Renz also further down the field. Marlon's taking this kind of very much slow speed there. 105.3 in the middle sector is not what we normally expect around here. But Marlon there down into the right-hander of Stowe, 10-15. Now into the left-handers of 16, 17, and then the left-hander, of course, turn number 18 once again. More right-handed corners around this, more left-handed corners around this track than right-handed. But Marlon now coming through the final couple of corners on the run to the line. R7 quick, it's 26.7 and Marlon 29.586. I'm not sure if he left the session perhaps. Yes, he did. He did. I knew. I was expecting him to. I was riding ball and I was like 2.8 seconds off the pace. This is not normally like Marlon. But that explains it. He was actually in AI. So I've just ridden on board with the full AI lap of this track. Artem though out on top, he has form around here from the NLR team event. Out on top from Clarky there in 2nd, Skyline in 3rd, Max Power in 4th, Atesh there in 5th, Noel there in 6th, Deal and No Deal of course returning this year, Demonjal in 7th, Brumier in 8th, Aladini in 9th, Lope there top 10, then Marlon Dark, and then Julian, Tipple and Rend. Hopefully we will get an invite out to Marlon. I will try and get that, if I can, done. If one of the VIR guys can invite him in beforehand, that would be perfect. If you can't, then don't worry about it. I'll try and figure out a way of how he can get back in. But yeah, that might be the first time I've been duped in terms of riding on board an AI lap around here. Oh, and it looks very, very overcast. I'll quickly see if I can invite him. I think it's because I've still got crossplay on. which is why I can't invite him. As you can tell on my friends list, it's absolutely heaving, so I can't invite him, unfortunately. I've still left crossplay on. I should have turned it off before we came into the lobby. But yeah, it should be alright. If one of the VIR guys can get Marlon in, that would be fantastic. Hopefully his car is still out on track, and hopefully he can participate in the race as well. I think Dirkman had given him an invite potentially just before he left as well. But here we go. Silverstone, very overcast like it has been. Very windy in the south of England. Hope even the north we've had rain and showers and whatever else. It's typical British weather. But what is typical, I think, that we're going to get some great racing around here at Silverstone going in towards the final race of the night. We now get 5 red lights coming on here at Silverstone, the final round, and it is lights on the way we're going. Artem gets a very good start. Mollen, by the way, his car is still out on track, so if you do want to invite him, you can. Artem there leading the way from Power there in second, Scotland there in third, Clarky there in fourth, Atish there in fifth. Getting the job done toward the inside line is Clarky, trying to find it to the inside line. Mollen, I believe, has rejoined the session, which is good to see. I certainly didn't see him pick up, but yeah, he's actually in Ghost. So he's down at the back of the field in Ghost still. Clarky has a huge mistake coming out of that Wellington. Down the Wellington straight, even out of Aintree. Atish there now in fourth, Clarky there in fifth. And Noel's going side by side with Demangel there as well. 13 laps, of course, here at Silverstone. Very overcast conditions. Everyone on the side of to a set of medium compound tyres as well. As Loke and Julian side by side as well, coming out of Lovefield, now through Woodcut, on the run down in towards Cops Corner. Don't really go side by side through Cops. The two IT boys are going to go side by side through Cops, and there's contact, and that is in the wall for Julian, in the wall for Loke. RCR, Loke, in fact, was the other man involved. I thought it was Boumier for a second there, but Loke in the wall, Julian in the wall, side by side into Cops. That never happens around here, and in the end, yeah. Artem leads the way. Max Power in second. Scotland there in third. Atish there in fourth. Marlon saying in the chat, James, I'm not driving, and since when it's my first race without assists. I am forgetful these days. You can tell that by the amount of commentary that I've done in the past couple of weeks. I forget things, and it is good to forget things sometimes. But it's not good to forget that a VRT are currently holding the 1-2 out on track. It's Artem that leads for Max Power in second. Scotland there in third at the end of lap number 1. Now onto lap 2, and now through the loop once again. Through turn number 4, as I just edged myself a little bit closer to the screen. I am commentating, by the way, through a laptop. If you are very much unfamiliar with my setup, TV's on the left-hand side, provided me with the picture. Picture is literally half a second behind. Not too bad. On a little laptop, which is going absolutely CPU crazy. And I'm commentating in front of OBS, which is very nice. Could call me up for PC, I guess. Never know. No, on the back of Clarky as Loke was retired on the pit lane. Oh, sorry, Loke was retired out on track, in fact. So Loke is retired out of the session, on track, running down the Wellington straight. Disappointing. No, there in sixth on the back of Clarky. Can try and get the move done. Max Power, though, is trying to max out on the back of Artem. I think VRT are just going to be entitled to hold this 1-2 for now. As it stands, VRT will be winning the Teams Championship here tonight. And that'll be fantastic, I think, from their perspective, because they have been overlooked, I think, certainly in this event here tonight. But their performances speak louder than words, and VRT are doing a fantastic job, and that is why they are going to be one of the teams I'm sure are going to be signing up for Season 5 of Esports Masters League, which of course is coming up on the new game in a couple of months' time, which is as much as you're going to get out with me, as Loke is retired from the session, out on track, leaving the session as well. Disappointing from the RCR perspective, but then again, they've got Aladini and Tipple there in 10th and 12th, and they've only got 3 drivers for this race as well, with one of them already out. Mollen saying, because of my bad luck, people forget that I'm driving in PSGL F1, and people forget Knowles going down the inside line of Clarky here. VRT now side by side with each other coming out of Aintree on the run down the Wellington straight. Of course, it's former airfield circuit here at Silverstone. Knoll there in 5th, Clarky there in 6th, getting the job done. Mollen was previously PSGL F3, by the way, if anybody is unfamiliar with who he is. He was previously PSGL F3. Atesh on the back there of Skyline, trying to get the job done. Atesh there in 4th. Thank you to Alex the G, by the way, for providing me with that beautiful German pronunciation, I should say, of Atesh. Atesh there in 4th, doing a great job. Knoll there in 5th, Clarky there in 6th. Lap 3 out of 13, and DRS, of course, is enabled this lap around. We've already seen it down the Wellington straight. Here is Aladini, though, on the back of Renz. 9th and 10th positions. They look now through the right-hander of it's been wide coming through Chapel, in fact, and Aladini now under pressure from Doc. And Doc, whether you like your chocolate milk, Doc, or whatever, that's a terrible one. But Doc on the back is going to try and go all the way around the outside of Aladini, and then in the end, Aladini does not do a Houdini. Because they're in 10th, Doc there in 11th, Tipple there in 12th, and Tipple, I'm sure some of you will be having a Tipple after this. Oh, and Aladini goes caught on the outside curb, gets caught on the outside curb, and Doc there through and he's into 10th. Artem leading the way. I was going to say 9 seconds is the gap. 9/10 is the gap between himself and Max Power at this stage. If it was 9 seconds, it would be absolutely remarkable. But in the end, Artem leads the way. The Irishman has done a fantastic job. Fantastic job out in front. Of course, his first race of the night, looking to try and get VRT the title. They're currently 1st, 2nd, 5th and 6th position out on tracks as it stands. They are more than likely going to be wrapping up the title. Marlon, of course, his AI is in 13th. Not sure whether those points will get committed, though, to the total for VIR. I don't think really makes a difference, but what does make a difference is Noel has spun. So Noel spins, coming out of left field, on the outside curve. Molon's AI is just about overtaken potentially. And Noel there round. VRT might be looking quite worried now. But it's happened to one. Will it happen to another? Hope not. Hope not, as Atesh is on the back of Scotland. Not going to get the move done, and this is easy from Atesh. Should he get the job done down the straight? Scotland lets him go, and Atesh Dooney's into 3rd, even before we get towards Stowe. Teffel there as well on the back of Aladini, getting the job done. Outside line, RCR side by side. A clunk there from the gearbox as well of RCR's Tiffle, but Tiffle was doing his into 10th. Aladini 11th, and he can have a drink on me for that move. Artem now leading the way, lap 5 out of 13 here in the Esports Challenge Cup, the PS side. I really hope you have enjoyed this charity event, by the way. It is very rare that we do get to run a charity event on the channel, and of course, I think the last one we had on the PS was back in 2022, if I'm not mistaken, for the Great Ormond Street Hospital, I think it was. Of course, the UNHCR was my idea in terms of the charity. Could have overlooked it in terms of a different charity, but I think, given what is going on in the world, I think it was the perfect charity to try and raise money and funds for. Even no matter how small we might be giving, it will be a big, big help, and it will genuinely help people's lives. Artem though, leading the way from Max Power in 2nd, and Max Power is under pressure. Those softs not lasting. He'll be in the pit lane this lap, I think, and Atesh is all over the back of him, and Max Power just needs to come in the pit lane. Atesh now, side by side with him. Is Scotland going to try and thread the eye of the needle? VIR want to make a battle out of this. Max Power's dropping down the field here, and Scotland looking to the inside line. Gets the job done, surely on Max Power. There's got to be the VRT man into the pits. Yeah, VRT man into the pits. Could not fight those softs anymore. And Artem now leads by 2 seconds over Atesh. Scotland in 3rd. VIR can pull off an overcut. Could be on potentially for them. For Max Power in the pits, it's a very long pit stop around here. More than 30 seconds of pit stop around here. Out on track. But they're in 10th position now, come into the final couple of laps of this race. Max Power out of the pit lane though. Set of mediums going on. Scotland there in 3rd. Clocky there in 4th. Just trying to bring as much action as we can. Julian's in the pit lane as well. Further down the field. He's going to be under pressure, I think, from Noel potentially further down. I think Noel's going to be well ahead, in fact, actually, ahead of Julian further down. I've 6 out of 13. I've spilled water on myself again. It's the 2nd time tonight I've done that. Artem the leads. Atesh in 2nd. Scotland there currently in 3rd. Noel there in 13th. Julian there in 14th. Doing a good job. Demontra there on the back of Clarkey as well. We will end off the stream as soon as we get the standings. As soon as we get the standings, by the way. Water's gone down the wrong way. But as soon as we get the team standings, it looks like it's going to be a VRT whitewash potentially in terms of this race. But you never know. Stranger things have happened in team events. Stranger things have happened in Formula 1. And you never know what could happen and what could strike in the final 7 laps of this race. As Clarkey is into the pits. Bumye into the pit lane as well. So IRT follow VRT into the pits. And that now for Clarkey will be 5th position. Fumier Sectipple also is into the pit lane from that sort of stuff, so he'll go into a set of mediums. Everyone now ahead of him onto that sort of soft compound tire as well. I'm just going to quickly clear my throat because I can feel something brewing. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. If we haven't got much action on the tracks, I'll be back. Oh, Artem leading the way, Atesh in second, Scott on there in third. Mark Rose is only going to last another 6.5 laps or so here in Silverstone. Looking it'll go quick, hopefully. Artem leads, Atesh in second, Scott on there in third. No matter, I'm definitely going to be getting straight into bed, by the way, after this, because me yawning is not a good sign. But yeah, it's been a fantastic night. All of this, of course, raising money for charity, as we already alluded to within the chat and within the thumbnail as well. Tipple has spun coming out on to the Wellington Straight. The RCL man down in 13th position. Mays, yeah, totally agree. VRT have done great for a Premier 2 team. They got overlooked, I think, in Premier 2, to be honest, this season, as Artem not in the pits. Atesh though is. The VAR split the strategy. IRT Demonjel into the pit lane as well. Very little on the brakes. Gained a little bit of time actually into the pit lane there. Still is the Aston Martin, but Atesh is into the pit lane, so this is going to be crucial. Clarky and Max Power coming down out of Chapel down the Hanger Straight now. So this is going to be really intriguing in terms of what we're going to see. Atesh out of his pit box, AlphaTauri against an Alfa Romeo of Clarky and a Ferrari of Max Power, and judging by the timings, I think he could be just ahead coming out the pit lane here. It's going to be so close, in fact, coming out the pits. Max Power fastest up the race. There is Atesh on the exit. There is Clarky right there, and he's ahead. Atesh is behind Clarky out on tracks. So that's perfect from a VRT perspective. Now, Max Power needs to put the power on and catch Atesh's car napping, especially when he's got a set of soft compound tyres on that car and they're still very, very cold out on track. Because once they get warmed up, Atesh is going to fly away from Max Power Shield. Now coming through the right-hander once again of Luffield through the middle part of the lap, now down the old pit straight, down in towards turn number 1, or down into the old turn number 1, now turn number 9 of course at Cops. Max Power in 8th, behind Atesh, on find the way through. Artem over spawns in the pits. They're just coming through Max and Beckett's now. Scotland's been in the pit lane is going to set VIR completely back now. They're on the back foot. Dark is on the back foot as well. He was 5 seconds behind coming in the pit lane on the guys ahead of him. But now is the main man. Artem in. Renz is also sped into the pit lane. Aladini is gonna come in the pit lane as well. So everyone now into the pits. They've made their mandatory pit stop. Artem should be leading the way coming out the pit lane. I said this though with Atesh, and I was right. This again is going to be quite close. I think he's going to be well ahead though. Artem out of the pit lane, yeah, much more ahead compared to Skyline and compared to Clarky. Clarky there in second. There is Artem. There is Clarky. And Artem's ahead of him. Coming out of the pits. Oh, as Clarky has a huge moment. In fact, oh, and there's a bit of contact there with Skyline. Trying to hold that inside line. Max Power had the car ahead. And I don't know what the VIR man was thinking there. But he's there in 5th. And here comes Atesh now on the back of Clarky. This is trying to work out for the VRT perspective. Atesh to the inside line. No, getting done. Getting through with Atesh now on the inside line. Clarky there. Fresh tyres for Atesh getting through. And Artem leading the way. The Irishman's going to have to hold them off. Now on the run down and towards Cup's corner. In this potential thriller here at Silverstone, the top 6 are covered. The top 7, in fact, are covered, all within DRS range. All of this happens in front. Somebody like Max Power Skyline could benefit. IRT could benefit as well. 6th and 7th Demonjel and Fumier right down toward the back end of the field in the bottom half of this pack. But they're running within DRS range. Max Power's getting them close. So speaking of getting close, here comes Atesh now on the back of Artem. Looking to try and maybe think about the move towards the inside line in towards Stowe. But in the end, can't get the job done. Down towards Valen Club, famously where we saw Vettel and Verstappen make contact in 2019 around here. Artem there leading the way from Atesh there in second. Give me your predictions in terms of what's going to happen for this final race here at Silverstone with only 4 laps to go. Let me know your prediction for the race, but let me know who you're supporting in the chat as well. As Artem leads the way from Artesh there in second. Clarky there in third. Here comes Scarlett on the back of Max Power. Not close enough this time around. Big split though happening now. IRT just can't keep up with Demangel and Brumier at this stage. They're just within DRS range, I think, and they're certainly within DRS range now because there's Scarlett having a mistake coming out of the loop. Everything now settling down once again. Artem leading. Atesh there in second. 3.5 laps to go here at Silverstone. Natesh there in second, trying to hold off any pursuer in behind. It looks like the front two are just beginning to pull away. Clarky's ERS usage is down compared to Atesh. Atesh on 21%, Clarky on 9%. So now look in towards Cop's corner. Skyline's all over the back of Max Power as well, and he is not thinking about the impossible in towards Max and Beckett, is he? Thank God he's not. He could have looked for that. He could have really looked for that. But Max Power now all of a sudden is the one beginning to split the pack. The RT are in trouble here. Max Power need to get onto the back of Clarky. That move on to set of softs early on in the race. I think it's coming back to hinder him now later on. But Artem, probably the quicker driver in the VRT lineup, leads the way. As we now come through into Old Valen Club for the final couple of times. Through onto the third last lap of the night. And Artem leads, fastest lap of the race banged in there. Atesh there in second. Clarky now on the back foot there in third. Cook onto in the front too. There was a yellow flag, and that is the Aston Martin of Dark that is round. So Dark round coming out of club. Turn 18 there. Scott looking for every inch of track to try and get the job on Max Power. And can't find a way through for now. Red Bull on the back of the Ferrari though, coming down the straight once again. In towards now the left-hander of Brooklands, and then into the right-hander of Lovefield, coming through the first sector split, 2.5 cents up to Scott on his personal best, but now he's got to try and channel that into this move on the back of Clarky. Clarky doing a fantastic job with VRT. VRT, as it stands, with Artem out in front, as long as they outscore VIR, they are on top, and with the first, third and fourth coming their way, and also Noel in the top 10, that is ideal from the VRT perspective. They are going to win, and that was a spinner. And was that Noel that was round? No, it was Dark. Sorry, Dark the one that was round. VAR man, oh, and Clarky's gone off track. Sorry, Max Power, I should say, has gone off track even. My word, huge moment there from the Ferrari man. Clarky there in third. Just about hanging on to that car. And Max Power having to utterly cut across the curb. It was either Clarky or Max Power. Couldn't really see because it was that fast. Literally happening that quick. Points correction as it stands. VRT 15 points clear of VIR. VRT on 136, VIR on 121, IRT 76, RCR on 50 points. Out on track. And that was because VIR, I believe, got the fastest lap last race in Abu Dhabi. That's why the extra point was added. Artem leading the way. Atesh there in second. It's now going to come down to who wants it most. Artem could ideally let Atesh through and let Atesh use up his tyres a little bit to try and go for this race. But Artem there leading the way. Atesh there in second. Clarky there in third. No matter what your background is, no matter where you come from, no matter what country you're from, no matter what political standpoint there has been set in the recent past year, this now all comes down to the final race here in this little league event, in this little platform. Artem leading the way from Atesh, leading the way, and hopefully, going to run us with a very good final lap of the race. Now embarked down through Chapel. Artem hanging on grimly. He did a fantastic job though in the NLR team event just 2 weeks ago, I think it was, around here. Did a fantastic job. He's doing a fantastic job again. This Scardon on the back of Max Power though. Oh, Max nearly has a mistake and Scardon has to tap him. Love tap him into control of the car. And in the end, Scardon, because of that tap, can't find a way through. But out of the final corner, looks to try and get the job done on this desync. And Max Power sent down. Skyline unintentional. Hitbox there. Skyline desyncing with Max Power. And that is not the way you want to end off this race. That is not the way you want to end off. Skyline then fourth. Probably doesn't see Max Power on his end. And in the end, these things happen. These things do indeed happen. Artem leads the way. He's held on through Brooklands, now through Luffield for the final time. And as it stands, Artem with VRT's weight on the shoulders. Atesh a bit sideways there, coming out of left field. Bigger mistake than what we saw with Artem. But Artem leading the way. Atesh is using up all of his batteries, but to what effect? Because Atesh has got, Artem has got more ERS compared to Atesh in behind. It all comes down now, coming out of Magnus Beckers. Get a phenomenal run out of here, Atesh. You're going to be all over the back of him, potentially on the run now down in towards Stowe. But Artem's got enough in the tank. He is pulling away, in fact, down the straight here. And Artem, the Irishman, the VRT man, is going to come out on top in this race. And VRT are going to make it a clean sweep, actually, as long as he doesn't spin through the final couple of corners. VRT are going to make it a clean sweep, 3 out of 3 with their individual drivers. Artem, though, his first race of the night, coming around the final corner, on the run to the line, wins in Silverstone. Atesh there in second, Clarkey there in the end in third, Skyline with that 5-second unserved penalty, Demonjal now ahead in third, Boumier up to fifth, Max Power, oh, what have it could have been for him? It should have been a fourth, at least, for Max Power, seventh there in the end, Ren's there in eighth, and Noel question was trying to finish in ninth. Doc there towards the line to finish in 10th, and not sure what's going on with Julian and Aladini. What on earth is going on there between them both? Goodness me. That is not the way you want to end off a charity event, lads. Aladini and 12th ahead of Julian. Again, I'm not sure if there was a bit of desync between them both. If there was, I apologise because I'm running the lobby, I think. But yeah, VRT, I think, take the championship victory. We will get points confirmation. Oh, that's got me all yawned out, that race. But yeah, we'll get points confirmation in very much due course, probably within the next 5 minutes or so. We'll keep the stream active, we'll keep the stream going. And in the end, it is the VRT man out on top of Artem. To the top step of the podium, as I say, did very well around team in the NLR team event. And in the end, takes the race win out on track with a phenomenal drive. Great car control. VRT have wrapped it up. Not sure by how many points, but what we can guarantee is VRT are the winners of a charity event. They are the winners of the EML Challenge Cup on the PS side. And that rounds off the action, of course, for tonight as well. But it is Artem out on top. Fast lap to boot as well. Extra point there. Atesh there in second. Demonjal there in third. Clarkey there in fourth. Boumier there in fifth. Skyline there in sixth. Max Power in seventh. Ren's in 8th, Nolan 9th, Doc top 10, Julian in 11th, with Aladini 12th, Tipple 13th, Moran 14th, Lope rounding us off in 15th position as well. And you've got DNF to Moran, of course, was an AI right down at the bottom end of the field, but Austin takes the race win, Atesh in second, Demonjal there in third. As soon as we get the points standings, I will read them to you. You'll see them probably in chat before me, but we will get that very, very soon indeed. If you do want to catch more auctions, as I say, I will bring up the action to come. Of course, that was the result from last week in Saudi Arabia for the EML Challenge Cup on the PC side. Legend Rosenberg taking the win. Timo Zelenkovic in second. Mouthful to say, as I said. Taicha there in third. Taicha Hardy there in third for Talent Factory. Doing a fantastic job. And this is... if I click on the right thing. This is the point standings coming into the event on Friday in Abu Dhabi. The final race in Abu Dhabi with potential F1 Esports Challengers doing their final practice before they go for the F1 Esports Challengers Trophy. Talent Factory out on top on 172 points. FER in second 158. TF10 and third 147. ET8 and fourth 126. NLR fifth 112. Team Chazoo in sixth on 107. F1 Fens Cup in 7th, F1RC, or FFC even in 7th on 60, Valor Gaming in 8th on 59, TTL in 9th on 51, and QRT in 10th on 50 points. That is the full rundown of what you've got looking forward to for EML Premier 1. That is, of course, going to happen at EML Premier 1. EML Challenge Cup PC side, Friday night. Nathan Richards taking to the action. That is going to be fascinating. He is going to be freshly footed from the PSGL E-Series. So if people are competing there, and if people are watching that E-Series as well, show some love to our Nathan Richards as well, who has done a fantastic job in the last couple of weeks. He wasn't even meant to commentate, in fact. Wasn't even meant to commentate. And in the end, he's came in for the final couple of rounds to save the ship for the Esports Challenge Cup, and full credit goes to him. Full credit to everyone else as well in this event here for the PS side for the Esports Challenge Cup. And we have got the final standings through. So I can confirm for you, my voice is definitely going now. VRT out on top on 208 points. In the end, 38 points clear of VIR. In second on 170. IRT in third on 132. And RCR in fourth on 65 points. That very, very much disappointing final race of the week. But that is it for tonight. That is done for the Challenge Cup event. If you did enjoy it, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell, of course, if you're brand new to the channel. I'm going to have a final check on the donations before we wrap things up here tonight. As I say, if you did enjoy that, please give whatever you can to the people of Ukraine, to the UNHCR appeal for Ukraine, the UK for UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, of course. And currently we are on £87 out of our £150 target. And of course, big thank you to our supporters for your support. Colonel Mason, Virtual Insanity Racing, Mitbury, who I've seen in the chat, TML IRT, Race Concept Racing, RCR, Tom Zaggers, and Miss Piggy. So thank you to each and every one of you for supporting. Much appreciated, of course, as always. We will definitely see you around, as my TV has just luckily turned itself off before we get to the end of the live stream, which is not too bad. I'm not even on the screen anyways. But there we are. And of course, your donations really do make a difference. And with that £87, it will go to provide vital support to one child in Ukraine, including outreach activities and daycare centres within the war zone area, of course, of Ukraine. And hopefully we will get to see peace return to Europe at once, no matter what side of the argument you're on, no matter what you're being told within the media. What we can agree on, I absolutely guarantee, is two things. One, this event, an absolute success. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And B, hopefully peace can return to Europe for the first time in just over a year, with Ukraine, of course, defending off the invasion from their neighbour Russia. But we are going to be finishing off right there, and hopefully you enjoyed it. I really hope you did. We're going to play you out. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.